Hey everyone, welcome back to Beach Weekly, a podcast created and produced by Long Beach State's student-run newspaper, the Daily 49er. I'm your host, Luke Pajari. Check out our content at daily49er.com, where you can read campus and Long Beach-related news, sports, arts and life, opinions, as well as multimedia content, including more podcasts, videos, and photo galleries. Thanks to Long Beach Transit for sponsoring this episode of Beach Weekly. It might not be quite your turn to get the COVID-19 vaccine, but it is your turn to help a loved one sign up online. Because you're the tech genius of the family, Long Beach Transit has the resources to connect you with a vaccine plan. Visit ridelbt.com/vaccine for more. This is your one and only podcast source for all things Long Beach State. Let's go ahead and dive right into this week's news roundup. Stay tuned afterwards for this week's story spotlight, where I talk to Photo Editor Andrea Ramos about the recent gathering in Garden Grove in solidarity with the Asian American and Pacific Islander communities. The California State University Board of Trustees Committee on Governmental Relations showed support in moving forward with Senate Bill 26, allowing student athletes to receive compensation for their name, image, or likeness during a virtual live stream meeting on Tuesday. The bill would prevent their scholarships or spot on their team from being revoked for receiving any compensation in relation to their athletic reputation. Recently passed by the Committee on Educational Policy, Senate Bill 26 is awaiting approval from the state leaders. If passed, the bill would go into effect on January 1st, 2022. The Long Beach City Council has unanimously approved the federal legislative agenda, including a Medicare for All resolution to provide all United States residents with health insurance, along with a universal background check proposal to help with gun control. Council members also passed the Framework for Reconciliation Act in order to acknowledge the existence and long-standing impacts of systemic racism in America and in Long Beach. About 100 people gathered for a unity rally in support of Long Beach's LGBTQ community in response to the Pride Lifeguard Tower that burned early Tuesday morning and what Mayor Robert Garcia believes is arson. Councilwoman Cindy Allen and local activists organized the rally that featured an 80-foot-long rainbow flag over the sands of Alamitos Beach, where the tower stood just a few days ago. At this time, the fire remains under investigation. After the Long Beach Fire Department cleared out the station's burnt remains Tuesday morning, community members began placing pride flags at the site. Long Beach State will be distributing approximately $23 million of federal relief money to students in early April after spring break, Vice President of Student Affairs Beth Lesson said during Wednesday's Associated Senate Zoom meeting. According to the Association of Public Land-Grant Universities, the money comes from President Biden's American Rescue Plan Act, an effort to provide supplemental relief funding for students and institutions. Lesson maintained that some folks may receive a different amount than others as funds are dispersed. However, undocumented students and international students will not be eligible to receive federal money, according to the United States Department of Education. In a letter sent to California State University Chancellor Joseph Castro, the Native American Heritage Commission asserted that Long Beach State engaged in improper consultation practices regarding the dirt dumping on Pavungna in 2019. Castro wrote, "The campus is currently engaged in a process with the Native American Heritage Commission to develop a permanent plan for that soil to better integrate it into the surrounding landscape and to introduce native plantings." Sent on March 23rd, the most recent letter is a response to these claims from Castro, which the NAHC feels it is a mischaracterization of the Commission's role in the ongoing dispute. They further stated that the role of the Commission was to facilitate CSULB consultation with tribes and not to take place of tribal consultation, something the university failed to do. The university moved forward with these actions on Pavungna without prior consultation of the tribal groups, which is a part of the ongoing lawsuit brought on by the members of the Native community. Long Beach State will be hosting an in-person commencement ceremony for the classes of 2020 and 2021 this May. The commencement team is currently working with the Angel Stadium to host the ceremony from May 28th to the 31st. Based on the graduation opinion survey results and the latest public health guidelines, the university is planning a pivot from drive-through commencement ceremonies to in-person ceremonies. Graduates will be split up by college and class. The College of Engineering will be on Friday, May 28th at 9:30 a.m., the College of Liberal Arts will be on Friday, May 28th at 5 p.m. The College of the Arts will be on Saturday, May 29th at 9:30 a.m. The College of Health and Human Services will be on Saturday, May 29th at 5 p.m. College of Education will be on Sunday, May 30th at 9:30 a.m. The College of Business will be on Sunday, May 30th at 5 p.m. The College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics will be the last group on Monday, May 31st at 9:30 a.m. Participating students should still complete their graduate slides and name recordings, as these will be key elements of the experience. Recording of their name pronunciation closes on April 9th, and graduate slides complete with a photo and quote are due by May 1st. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's Story Spotlight. And today I'm joined by Photo Editor Andrea Ramos, who just recently covered an event in Garden Grove where around 50 people gathered at Village Green Park to hold a safe space for the Asian American Pacific Islander communities to speak on the recent shootings in Atlanta. Now, Andrea, I noticed a variety of different activities from the photos attached to the story. What were people doing there?
So the main specific activity was to honor those who were killed in the Atlanta shooting. So they passed out candles to be lit, and then they did 8 minutes of silence, 1 minute each for each victim. And then they gave space for community members to speak on how they were feeling, processing their thoughts and emotions, and kind of educating people on like how this isn't anything new. It's written in our history, and just kind of giving space to that.
Now, what did you observe at the event specifically? What was the feeling? What was the mood there? Could you give any kind of specific like details into that?
I sensed a lot of anger and somberness like among people, mainly anger because it's again something that's not new, and people just seem to have forgotten it. And so when this happened, it's kind of just like, racism is intertwined in our society, and white supremacy needs to be stopped at its roots. So it's kind of just a very angry time for everyone.
Now, in terms of the people organizing this event, were there any specific speakers or organizations that were in charge of this? Maybe there might be ways for listeners to get involved and educate themselves further, or maybe attend future events. Could you give us a little details about that?
Yeah. So organizers for the event included like the National Alliance for Filipino Concerns in Southern California. Viet Rise spoke for a little bit. They didn't organize the event, but they were there to support. And then Core Movement, OC, Justice Initiative, kind of speaking on history. And then OC Justice Initiative even said that they were there to support their brothers and sisters who had supported them for the Black Lives Matter movement, like throughout the years.
Now, for everyone who did speak there, I'm sure there was just a wide range of things said and felt. It's a lot to process, I'm sure. Did anything specifically resonate with you while you were there?
I think what really resonated was kind of like Viet Rise. They had said that the week before, they were protesting against Biden deporting around 33 Vietnamese people. And then the day after, that was on Sunday, 2 days before the shooting. And then on the day of the shooting was March 16th. Viet Rise was remembering the My Lai massacre that killed more than 500 Vietnamese people at the hands of U.S. soldiers in 1968, the same day the news of the shooting came out. So Allison Vo had talked about it and was just saying how she mourned the losses of their communities, and that it was still happening even in the US, like years later. And there was nothing left to do other than, honor those who were dead and then kind of fight against white supremacy and trying to change the system.
Now, Andrea, I just want to thank you again for coming on and talking today. To wrap things up, is there anything you want to add? Anything we might not have glossed over?
No, I think that was it. Just kind of the key is educating yourself on history and kind of seeing those microaggressions, seeing the violence, and kind of remembering that this is a group effort. It's not just one community that's hurt, it's all communities that are hurt.
Very well said. Well, thanks, Andrea, for coming on and talking about the story you covered and this event. Really appreciate it. Here's a new tab to open up next to your 8 a.m. Zoom lecture, ridellbt.com/vaccine. Discover resources you can use to help a not-so-tech-savvy loved one sign up for the COVID-19 vaccine when it's their turn. It's another way Long Beach Transit is moving you through. That's all for this week. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Beach Weekly. This is your host, Luke Pajari, signing off. Take care, guys.